We are back at it again here with another video to invest for tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. So here we are with CLOV stock, Clover Health Investments. We're going to jump into everything here on why it's pulling back today and some of the key levels I talked about yesterday and some new data to be aware of moving forward with CLOV stock going into next week and even the next following weeks to come. But before we jump into CLOV stock's chart and all the data and information, I want to share with you guys the 2 home run opportunities I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And if that's something that interests you and you want to become part of, check out the link down below. We're going to jump into everything here with CLOV stock. The home runs of the day were spectacular. What a great way to end the week, especially on a Friday. And after the S&P 500 index has been in a downward trend for the last week, I have managed to find daily at least one home run opportunity between the weekly watch list and the daily watch list. And if that's something that interests you, I would like to invite you to join us. Check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together. So EFTR was a home run I mentioned yesterday. SOS gave us 5 to 10%. And ENDP gave us a home run opportunity. Now we're going to look at that chart in just a moment. But before we do, I want to share with you guys here EFTR. EFTR was a home run yesterday. I was watching it in today's pre-market. And if it wasn't for 42 Vision, which are the candlesticks that you see here, it's an indicator you can gain access to as well by joining the 42 Vision tier level. But it allows me to see the dips and the rips and the transitions of an upward momentum or downward momentum. So if it wasn't for 42 Vision, I wouldn't have made an opportunity out of this early on because I don't like trading the pre-market, but I made something out of it because of 42 Vision. Now, these were the 2 opportunities I mentioned this morning that turned out to be spectacular. So SOS gave us nearly a 10% jump in the pre-market, pulled downwards, gave 5 to 8%, hit another bottom here, and took off for a 15% plus opportunity. And the home run of the day was ENDP. We caught this one as it was pulling downwards after running after the bell. And after pulling downwards, you could see there with 42 Vision how it transitioned and how it had strength all the way up towards that highest point of 20% plus. If this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, check out the link down below, and we look forward to having you join us. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with CLOV stock, Clover Health Investments, and we're going to break down all the reasons why Clover Health Investments is going downwards. There's a few reasons and what made it go up, right? So a lot of investors are probably taking profits, right? That's the first thing. Profit taking from catching it down here and in this consolidation and riding it up 10 to 20%, 20 to 30%, because that's how high the jump was. Now, it's pulled back pretty fast. It tried going back up and it's just collapsed. And I said it yesterday, the lower this went, if it broke through certain support levels, we were going to see further weakness, and we have some new support levels to look at. And based off 42 Vision, you can see the transition here from when it went from momentum to weakness, try to come back up, wasn't strong enough, and then further weakness. And you're just seeing the further weakness here. So 42 Vision is an indicator you can gain access to by joining the 42 Vision tier level. Check that out as well in the Patreon if you're interested, because this is what allows me to see the dips and the rips. And if I go ahead and put a regular chart here, you would notice a big difference. And if you go ahead and just look at your own chart, what a difference it is, because this shows you the points of weakness and the points of strength. Let's go ahead and jump into the data here with Clover Health Investments, because beyond profit taking and what 42 Vision can show us in the charts, there's a reason behind such a big pullback beyond what we saw yesterday and going into today, right? This is just further weakness as we see it. And if you go ahead and look at this from the bigger picture, there's transitions happening on the 1 day, and there's bigger transitions happening on the 1 hour and every single time frame you can think of based off 42 Vision, but we always do the videos on the 30 minutes. So what is it? Well, the first thing is this analysis price target. This was initiated September 10th. I wonder what day it is today. Underperform $7, okay? After it actually started to get some momentum, right? And Citigroup gave it some fire, right? It lit up a fire, right? They resumed at neutral, $10. Then we have 8 days later, Cohen here, right? Underperform $7. That is the main thing, okay, that is driving this downwards back towards $7, beyond profit taking and beyond the technicals in the chart. Now, I did overextend after getting this high. It was going to have to cool off. Now, when it pulled back this fast, I was looking at it and I said, well, it looks like there's a staircase effect happening, and so far it's going with strength. If it could continue and hold itself up, well, we might see newer highs, right? Well, it didn't do that very well. And every time we've seen this pull back, if you remember which one of the parts of this whole entire chart I stated it looked like, you will know that it's forming the same exact pattern. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. I'm letting you guys look at the chart right now. Try to find it, but if you can't, I'm going to show you guys because it's literally doing the same thing. And I pointed this out in my video. This right here is the mini version of what I was starting to see here. Okay, that jump up, pull back. Oh, it spiked up a little bit. We're going to go down even further. Jumped up, pulled back. Oh, it spiked up a little bit. We're going to go even further. Right there to the T. Okay, now the question mark is, will there be hype and speculation that can go ahead and create another part of this whole entire picture to look the same, which is right after that pullback and we're going further, it spiked up nearly 10 to 20%. I don't think that's possible. If it happens again, that would be kind of interesting that it's repeating the history here. But the main part of the chart that it really looked like to me, like if you just exit out that run and just focus on what's going on right here, that's what I saw happening here. So the main thing right now for Clove is it needs to find a bottom or at least consolidate where it was before it ran up. Because if it just goes right back towards 750, 740 and it breaks through 740, we're going into further weakness. And that's going to be a very interesting pullback. And that's where you know that this right here, yes, it has potential to squeeze, but it continues to create these bull traps that if you're not timing it or you don't have a clear picture, as 42 Vision does for me, I don't know what it is that you use, but 42 Vision allows me to see where things are kind of transitioning and it's over, like from right here from $10 back to $10.42 and back to $9. I would have known if I got in way down here that that was the end of that run. But we're seeing it going into weakness. It looks like the previous part of the chart that I talked about in my previous videos. And another thing too is the short shares available has gone up. So that means that some of the shorts have actually covered. A lot of people want to challenge me and say that no covering happened here. That run right there had to do with some covering. Now, when you look here, the short interest has not updated unless it's the same. I'm assuming it's a little bit less. It could be 12%. It could be 10%. But 15% no longer is the case. Unless they went ahead and covered and reshorted at these levels again. Especially after this right now coming out and they're actually excited to see it go lower. The shorts are going to put even more pressure. So the higher this goes in the future, right? If this goes to 20% plus or 18% and the stock keeps on going lower, that's going to be a potential squeeze even larger than the one that we just saw, which went from 7 and it consolidated at 8 and took off to nearly 11, almost $12. Now, another thing too is right here on the date that it actually spiked, which was the 7th, okay? The short volume was 33%. That was the lowest short volume in the day, and that correlates to it actually running. There was a lot less people shorting and a lot more people pushing it higher, buying calls, buying shares, and that goes to confirm that some of the shorts were actually covering, and a lot of people that actually usually buy the short shares, as you can see all the other days, did not buy as much that day. It was only 37 million of the total 110 million. That's another thing as well. The volume on the 7th was out of proportion from every other day. And volume ever since has been going lower and lower, and today's at 22, and the average 10-day volume is 43 million. So the lower that goes, the weaker this is going to get as well if inflow is not coming in. So what are the key levels? Well, the first one is 862. I talked about it, okay, yesterday. 920, 921 gets broken through. Watch how it does between that area. 862. If it breaks 862, the next point of reference I would watch is 827 to kind of narrow this down and look at it closely and see if the bulls try to reappear and bring it back up, or if the bears are tearing this one down fairly fast. Now to the upside, the bulls need to break through 932 before looking at any other resistance level to actually see if there's some strength and see if momentum can go back up to the upside. But the first thing is, if this continues to go lower, this needs to find a bottom, and we're going to have to see if the bulls can actually hold themselves up within this area up here in the 8s, or stay above 740 and not retest it or even break through it, as that analysis rating is saying, all the way down to $7. That's going to be interesting, and that's going to be something to watch. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.